Hello, inflatable fans. I hope you're all well. It's -5. The machine and I are going for a paddle. Let's get set up. Now look at these. These are awesome. One of my subscribers got in touch with me and she said, I make these fenders for canal boats and so on. She said, I've been thinking of toying with the idea of making smaller ones for inflatable boats, so to help keep them off the mooring, look, just to help protect from damage from the bank. How cool is that? Thank you, Carol. After a fair amount of fanning around, I'm getting in. As you can see, it is a very misty morning. The machine has been playing about on the water while I've been setting up, trying out different paddles. He's got a Greenland paddle with him today and a carbon paddle, and he's just been experimenting with that just to keep himself warm. Look at those frosty bits. When we get out of the cut, I'm going to turn the motor on. Look at the mist on the water as we pull out of the cut here. Looks lovely. Raf's sporting a pair of pogies. Look at that, he's got his nice little pose there, pogie pose. I've never got on with pogies, largely because they get in the way of me moving the camera around and controlling the camera. Look at that. Wow. Right, let's get this motor on. I've never used it in this boat before. And we're off. There's a load of ducks up ahead. Are you watching, Matt? Ducks everywhere. It is weird travelling as fast as you and not paddling.
Making a cup of tea.
I'm making a cup of tea, yeah.
Rubik's Cube, what are you doing?
But it is interesting because you're not really pulling there, are you?
No.
And yet you are going faster than me. So that's good, because it means, as a paddle assist, it means I'm not going to leave you behind. You know, just, I'm rambling. Look at that mist on the water, it looks awesome. A lot of ducks, as I say. Better do some work, hadn't I? Now, I have got my heated socks on. I'll put some links to these in my Amazon shop, because I'm really enjoying these. I've got them on the low setting. I have had them on the low setting run for 5 hours. So I put them on before I came out today at 7 o'clock. And yeah, so they should last until at least 12 o'clock. Don't know how long we'll be out. One of the big advantages I see for this efin for me is if I am out with the boys on some water where it's good to use, where it's not too shallow, it does mean I can keep up with them easier while I'm fanning around with the camera, because I often find myself lagging behind a little bit while I'm, you know, taking the video stuff. I don't know. I don't know whether I'll use it for that yet or not. Who knows? Stay tuned to find out. This is Acaster Malbis on the left hand side. You might have seen some of the videos where I've commented on that stunning willow, which it actually looks quite stunning now, kind of misty, but I prefer it in summer when it's all green. The mist on the water keeps catching my eye. Look at that mist rolling on the water. I'm going to say that a lot today. If you've never thought about getting out on the water in winter, I can heartily recommend it. But you need good gear. I've mentioned this in other videos, and I'm just going to repeat myself a few times in subsequent videos for the people who kind of jump in at a certain point. So, my recommendation in terms of gloves, I wear sealskins. I'll put some links to all of this stuff in my Amazon shop, and so you'll be able to find that in the comments and description below. So I like sealskins gloves. This is the Palm High Back PFD. But that's not the important thing really. What I'm wearing underneath that is the Atacama dry suit. I paid about $380 for these. I know there is a slightly cheaper one. I know they're pricey, but they are so worth it. Because if you do happen to fall in, you don't get that whole cold water shock thing, which is a bonus.
Lifesaver.
And a lifesaver, yeah. And on my feet, apart from my trademark dirty Crocs, I've got heated socks under here, which I might have already mentioned. And Raf just made a really valid point about the dry suit. If you do happen to end up in, the not getting cold water shock thing is potentially a lifesaver. Really valid point. I should have said that first, really. Lifesaver. But yeah, it just helps you. You can have a nice experience on the water. You might come back a little bit cold, but if you don't do it, you miss out on experiences like this. Oh, and you can always bring warm coffee. Hot coffee if you're lucky. Hottish. So the machine is out in the story division today. He just bought himself a sea kayak. Traitor. Inflatable traitor. Just look how frosty these trees are. Right, we're just entering Naban village now. That is the waterfront kind of cafe bar, very popular at the moment. Well, not right at this moment. It's too early for that. Got Naban Marina just on the right hand side there. We're just approaching one of my favourite bridges, the one with the sculpture on top of the man fishing with a dog. Unfortunately, probably won't be able to see much of that today, but you never know. There are some lovely boats down here. Look at that one, that was from Hull. No H. Can you see the fishing man? You might just be able to see him in the mist. There you go. Tell you what, I'm glad I make mad hats some days, and today's one of them. Hello swans. That mist on the water up there. See, I told you I was going to say that a few times today. Let's do a bit of turning practice again. What I'm doing with my upper body there is I'm turning the paddle outwards and then putting it in the water in line with the boat, and then just slightly twisting the top of the blade away from the boat in order to turn. So you can just see the end of a line of boats here, and this line of boats takes us all the way to Bishopthorpe. I'm quite fascinated by the way the trees are kind of green towards the water, or brown, greeny brown, but then really white up at the top. Little family of swans under there. Raph was just saying that the young ones are starting to lose their brown plumage. Got the overflow coming out here, it's bubbling away, but it's pushing the boat around a bit. Whee, it's pushing me right over. You can see that steaming, can't you? I don't know where that's coming from, but it smells like washing up liquid and soap powder. England's dreaming. Somebody's got the kettle on by the look of it. Look at that mist on the water. Look how white those trees are. It's a good job I'm not repetitive and boring, isn't it? Nearly at Bishopthorpe now. Well, seriously, just look at the mist on that water. It is quite mesmerising, just watching it swirl around. So here we are at Bishopthorpe, where you've seen me launch several times. The building in the background is called Bosun's. It's quite a popular cafe and eatery. A bar as well, I think. And now we're heading up towards the A64 road bridge. There we've got Bishopthorpe Palace. Although why an archbishop needs a palace? Don't get me started. I've done this many times. Very quiet for river traffic today, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're not. It's only us.
It's only us mad enough. Hey, look at the mist on that water. You might just be able to hear the A64 road bridge coming into view. I can't see it at the moment. Although I think the camera might be picking it up through the polarised lens, because I can see a line on the screen. I don't know whether that's the bridge, but I can't see it. If the camera's picking that up and my eyes can't see it, that is really strange. That can't be right, surely. I can't wait to see this footage back. I'll put a comment on the screen now if it is actually the bridge. Oh man, I have been laughing so much. You know what I thought was the bridge? The grid line on the camera. What an idiot. But now I could just see the bridge coming into view. Oh, what a goon. So it'll get a bit noisier here for us for a few minutes. Raf's just experimenting with his Greenland paddle. We're just approaching the Fulford Ings area now. There might be some good cobwebs on some of these boats. Let's get a bit closer and see if we can find some. I fully appreciate that sounded a bit weird, saying let's look at some cobwebs. But on some of the boats further back, I've just been quite fascinated with all the ice on and that kind of stuff. I know, I'm weird. There we go. Can you see them hanging off the boat? And look at this weird and wonderful one here. Look at the trees here, they're really white here. This building on the right hand side is York Motor Yacht Club. And we're not too far off Millennium Bridge now, which is on the outskirts of the city centre. Millennium Bridge is just coming into view around that bend. Anybody watching us from that bridge is going to think we're a pair of nutters doing this in this weather. They're probably right. But just look at the mist on that water. Yeah. Next stop, York. Picture the ice cream van isn't on the side there. You can tell we're approaching the city. We're starting to find some river traffic. First bit of the day. One of the cruise boats. Which madheads would be on the water in this weather? Sat still doing now. Madheads. He says, sat still doing now. There's a gold balloon raft. There's a gold balloon. Oh, gotta go and have a look. It might have a Willy Wonka chocolate thing attached. Nope, just a gold balloon. But I have stirred all these ducks here. Sorry, ducks. Alright, have you caught anything? Now that bridge that you can see there, you'll never guess, but it's called Blue Bridge. I know, right? Took somebody ages to come up with that. Sunset in 3.5 hours, Raf, we better turn around. That's mad, isn't it? Got Lendl Bridge just in the mist there. Sounds like my taxi's arrived. Do you ever get in a boat and feel like you're missing a seatbelt? Or is it just me?
Just you.
Just me. Not really surprising, huh? Anyway, it's a Saturday as I record this, early December, so town will be absolutely teeming with Christmas shoppers. Thank God we're not one of them. Underneath that walkway you've got loads of little tunnels, look to your right, Raf, that go underneath the city. Now what used to happen is the Vikings used to come here and used to bring their wares and travel through those tunnels and sell their wares on the city streets. But what you also need to bear in mind is that I make a lot of crap up. And that was one of them. Right, now this next bridge coming up is likely to be our turnaround point. This rather magnificent setup on the right hand side here, this is the Guildhall, recently renovated. There we've got a vulva, Minster bells going in the background. God, I didn't see that come out of the mist. I'm going to put the camera in hyperlapse now for the trip back. Right, we've just got back. We've had a really good time. I'm just walking around trying to warm my feet up because my feet are freezing. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any comments, obviously leave them in the comments. You take care of yourself. Cheerio. No, it wasn't cold at all today. He says, scraping the ice off his paddle. It was absolutely fine.